Hello, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and today I am showing you a make that I've done with this cupcake mix. This is recipe number 2 from Moda that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. And you can see here it makes a few different designs with this half square triangle pack. So this is a 5-inch square, so suitable for churn packs, and it makes 8 itty bitty little half square triangles, which are very, very cute. I'm using this one from Forest Village. I got this on sale from Fat Quarter Shop. It was one of their flash sales, so I don't have any other fabric in this collection. But I did get this set of like tone-on-tone white pack from Spotlight. This was on sale and it was only $5. And I thought it would be perfect because when you look, it is a very similar shade of white. Now there is a lot of mixed patterns within this. I'm trying to show you here. So it's not all the same pattern, there's a variety of it. And I do have coordinate and layer cakes in this as well as a jelly roll. So they do tend to have this as a bit of a staple in Spotlight, thankfully. And it is pretty much the only one you can get unless you buy yardage as well. So I do like the fact there's different patterns in that. And I'm going to use that to alternate with my layer cakes. So I thought what I would do, I've not seen anybody use these cupcake mix recipes on YouTube for inspo, so I thought I'd go and give you a little bit of a detailed info and how I've gone about this. There's a few different steps. It's kind of mass producing, batch producing. First of all is the pinning. So you put the fabrics right sides together, then you've got your sheet on top, and then you just pop a pin somewhere in the middle away from all of those sewing lines. Then we can get on to the sewing. Now I didn't need all of these sheets. You can see I had a few little ones left over as well, but I'm off to a good start here. I love this mass producing because I really was able to split this up. I was able to one day do one part of it, another day do another. Each step took maybe a good hour, but you do end up with a lot of half square triangles as a result of that. So I was just showing you there, you're literally just following the sewing lines, and it is pretty easy. It's very cathartic just sitting there sewing these and not having to think too much about sizes or accuracy, because you do get a good accuracy if you stay on these stitch lines. So one of the things to remember when doing any of this stitching on paper is to have a very small stitch length. But because this is special paper anyway, it's really good because it's a thinner paper than your normal kind of printer copier paper as well. So it does come away quite easily. Once I'd stitched all of those, I had another session on the following day or maybe a few days later where I decided to go through and start cutting all of these. Now you can see here I'm just cutting the outside of it at this stage, but again it's really simple and easy to follow because it shows you where the cut lines are as well on here. So I decided to use my rotary table at this point, and at some point I do go and change my blade as well. I realise my blade needs to be a lot sharper because of the amount of effort I'm putting on that. But I'm obviously not showing you every stage of this. It would be a very long video if I did. But you can see here I have got 8 half square triangles from one sheet of paper, and they are very cute. I'm not sure the finished size. I want to say maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inch, something like that. But I do love the effect this gives. It is so much quicker, although it might take an hour or so for each step. It would take so much longer to get the amount of half square triangles without this paper. So that was cutting session, probably my least favourite part actually, followed quickly by the removing of the papers. I like the pinning and the sewing. This stage really wasn't as exciting, so that was ripping off the papers and then moving on to the pressing. Now again, it is more pressing than ironing, and I just pressed everything to the darker side to make it simple for these. And I did them in batches as I'd taken off the paper, as you saw there as well. I kind of sorted them into little spots where similar colours were together because it was a mixed collection. I knew it would all go together. But for when I come to do the assembly, I just wanted to have as much of it in little sections as I could. This was another little bit that didn't take too long. This was just trimming off these little dog ears, and this just makes it easier for when we do start to construct it, just to remove some of those layers from the seams when we start to sew them. And I've got a little stash of these now. I decided not to throw them away. I thought they might come in handy as a pincushion stuffing at some point. Now the fun bit. Now we are on to designing these. Now as you can see here, I have got 6 different designs, and the front of the cupcake mix did show 3. I did manage to find a YouTube video. I'm not sure whether it was Fat Quarter Shop. I've had this a little while, but I decided to take screenshots of it, and I just did little screenshots of the 6 designs that they showed with this. And I thought what I would do, I'd mix it up. I'd try and get as many of the designs as I could in my pattern, just for a bit of variety. So I didn't want to stick with one pattern. I wanted to try and mix it up as much as I could. And you can see here, I'm going to fast forward here because I wanted to show you a couple of these before I move on to the final stages of the construction of this. But this bit was a lot of fun. I was trying to keep my fabric as directional as possible. I think with the design on the fabric there was a lot of directional patterns because of the forest element to it. So some of them, especially towards the end, some of them are a bit of a mixed batch. But overall, I still love the colour scheme. I tried not to keep things too similar together, but these came together pretty quick. So once I'd put these together, as you can see on my table, I then stitched the first two columns together, and then when I got all the columns stitched together, then I went across and stitched the rows. So again, pretty good, pretty time consuming though. I got to the point where I maybe did two or three of these blocks, maybe took an hour and a half, and then I was kind of done. I was kind of bored of it at that point. So I'm not too sure how many more of these little ones I'm going to do. I did buy another pack from Fat Quarter Shop. I think it was Recipe Cake 1. So it might be a little while before I go ahead and do that one. But even so, I really enjoyed doing this, and it was a good exercise in using the papers as well, because accuracy is not my friend. It's something I need to practice with. So this was a good way of practicing that. Now you can see here I'm mixing and matching a little bit. Some of these I got off, they were wrong when I'd put them down, but then by the time I got to sew them I'd realised I'd put them down the wrong way together. So it was probably a good thing that the printouts that I did were printed like an orange and a green for contrast, because I tried to follow that as best I could for all of these. And there you go, so that's the last one that I've done. Not that I think anyone is going to notice such detail with such tiny half-square patterns. Now I've got this little roll up. This is from Jen Kingswell, and you can put like 5 blocks in at any one time. I think it is 5 or 6. I was using this mainly for my Moda blockheads, and it's great because it's a it's a space saver, if I can get my words out. So what I decided to do, once I'd finished doing a couple of blocks, I then kind of used this and put the design and got them all out and ready within these layers, and then you're just a matter of rolling it up, and then next time I was ready to sew them, I was able to take this out and start sewing. So a good little idea. It is kind of not, I wouldn't say sticky, it is just like fabric, but the block pieces, the half square triangles, stick to it quite well, so they don't move about too much when you kind of roll them up and fold them up. So nice invention, and it wasn't too much money as well. It was quite cheap to buy. So that's basically what I was doing for all of these. Now when I come to sewing the block, obviously it's the same way you would sew any block. I did decide to have some of that white tone on tone fabric in between as sashing and then as borders. I'm not actually showing you the finished quilt, by the way, at the end of this. I will show you the finished quilt block or the front, but I need to decide really on what backing I want to use, and I am very tempted for the first time to try and get it printed, trying to get it quilt with a long arm stitcher. I think overall this is the biggest one I've ever done, and I think it would just be too much for me to try and do on my sewing machine. So I'm going to keep hold of it for now, and then maybe once I've got another big block, send it off and get it stitched professionally, and also the binding as well, because I'm not very good at that. The amount of hours and effort I've put into this, I definitely want a nice finished product at the end of it. There is mistakes in it, you'll see it when we come to the end. Some of the blocks are a little bit cut off and I don't have all the points in place, but nevertheless, for my first good size quilt, it's definitely something that I want to remember and keep, so I would like to get it finished properly if I could. I have ordered actually in the sales some labels, so definitely gonna wait and make sure I've got those as well, so I can have my little Made by Karen Bolton stitched into it as well when I do come to do that. And it'll be a good test of my journey with quilting, I think. So this is how I laid them out to try and decide and mix and match it as much as I could with some of those darker and lighter tones, as well as some of the different block patterns. And this was me placing it out with the rows and also the little in-between bits as well, just to try and make this quilt size a little bit bigger. And then this is it finished and stitched up. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope you'll give the cupcake mix recipes a go as well. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great crafting weekend.